Thomas Tank Engine and Friends Mini Adventures, Episode 106, Roundhouse Roulette. The Great Railway Show was taking place on the mainland, and engines from all around the world were flocking to the main event. To the shock of Tom Pat and the Sodor engines, their island had been picked as a staging area while the event was taking place, and soon enough, Vicarstown Station was packed to the brim with international engines. Well, I definitely didn't see this one coming, said Stump Pat. What's going on here, said Thomas. What are all these weird engines doing here? Apparently, Sodor was picked as the original killing area for the Great Railway Show. Since I had to abandon those meetings due to the storm we had, I wasn't there to put any input on the decision-making process like I usually am. Granted, it does make a lick of sense since Sodor is right next to the mainland, but I would have liked a heads up on the matter just to say, well, we can't do anything right now, said Percy. I mean, look at it. The clock at the entire station. What do we do now? I mean, we can't do anything right now. Agreed. You two, please escort these engines to Vicarstown Sheds. While I go make some important telephone calls and try to fix this mess. Thomas and Percy smiled. They liked being in charge of important decisions. Attention, everyone! Thomas, attention, please! But nobody was listening. The engines kept talking amongst themselves as if nothing had happened. Hello, everyone, speaks Percy. Thomas here has something to say. It was always down too. The engines stared at each other. This isn't gonna work, said Thomas. We're gonna need some of the big, booming voice. Silence! Boomed the engine. Everyone stopped and talking at once. They looked at Thomas and Percy. Who was that? asked Percy. Don't you remember? It's me, the Flying Scotsman. I know it's been some time, but I never thought I was that forgettable. Oh, Thomas and Percy laughed. It's great to see you again, they said. It will look better than ever, but what are you doing here anyways? Well, I'm here for the Great Railway Show, of course. I was told on Sodor before my competitions began, and apparently I wasn't the only one who got the memo. Oh, right. Thomas. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Sodor. My name is Thomas, and this here is... shut up! We was having ourselves a nice conversation before your green snake friends showed up and told us to be quiet. Nobody tells us what to do. Get lost, losers. Thomas and Percy were petrified. They hadn't expected the international engines to be so rude. Don't speak for all of us, said another. These engines belong here. This is their railway. We are merely their guests. Please, continue. Oh, well, thank you, said Thomas. As I was saying, I'm Thomas, this is Percy, and I bet you have all heard of the Flying Scotsman. Please, follow me to the sheds so you can rest for some competitions to begin. The international engines murmured happily, and by that evening, they had all been moved to the station and into Vicarstown Sheds. Some of you will have to be outside for the night, said the Flying Scotsman, but the weather is beautiful. You'll fall asleep staring at the stars every night. Believe me. Phew, sighed Percy. It was hard work. Thank you so much for helping us, Flying Scotsman. Nobody listens to little engines like us, but they definitely can't listen to a big guy like you. No, of course. It was all nice to see you guys again. If you don't mind, think I'm going to spend the night here with all my new engine friends. That's great, said Thomas. We'll be seeing you all tomorrow. Come on, Percy. Let's get back to our sheds. But as soon as Thomas and Percy had left, Billy and Rosie were all up to, what are all these engines doing here? No, these sheds don't have nobody in there. Hey, you, big guy, that's my spot. Billy, there's no way to activate these engines. I don't know who the heck they are, but they must be here for a good reason. Come on, let's go find somewhere else to sleep for now. And the mad dash began. With Vicarstown Sheds being packed to the brim, Billy and Rosie had to find somewhere else to sleep. They found a space at the search and rescue center, but then Belle and Flynn were pushed out. Those two decided to stay at the Sunshine Clayworks, which left no room for Bill and Ben. Those two decided to take up Riff and Scruff spots at the waste dump, who in turn took up Ari and Bert's spots at the Ironworks. Before long, Ari and Jim was fully pushed out of their usual sleeping spots. By the time Thomas and Percy returned to Tidmouth, there was no room for either of them. Cinders and ashes, said Thomas. What's going on out here? Sorry, Thomas, said Edward, but with the Great Railway Show engines taking up Vicarstown, everyone else has been forced to move out of their usual spots. Just then, Toby puffed up. I just got out of my own shed by some bossy boiler boy named Vinny. This is stupid. But the engines found it hard to sympathize with the latecomers. You should have got here earlier, said James. Just because you're the number one engine doesn't mean there's always a spot reserved for you. You know what I'm saying? What do you read? Hey, we were helping the new engines. They're in a place to sleep. But also, Percy, that's why we're late. We cannot just leave them there. So this is all your fault, Henry? You're the ones who helped them take over Vicarstown Sheds, and now you're paying the consequences. I don't see anything wrong with that. Thomas was very upset. Those were Thomas' orders. Thank God he's not here to see how selfish you are all being right now. Come on, Percy and Toby. Let's go find somewhere else to sleep. And they soon puffed away. At last, some peace and quiet, murmured Murdoch. Enjoy that roof over your head while you still can, chuckled Emily. When on trains that morning, everybody wants to have the nicest berth in town. Certainly, it really engines that as soon as they sheds in the morning, their sheds would be taken. Then they wouldn't have a place to sleep like Thomas, Percy, and Toby. You know what, said James, I'm not really in the feeling to pull the express. You can do it, Henry. Oh, no, said Henry. I'm going to go take my goods train to Hero. Sorry, fellas, but I think I'm going to go rest day tomorrow at 2. And the arguing commenced. None of the engines wanted to give up their sheds losing their spots. And in the morning, nothing had changed. James, you are going to be late, said Tom Hat. What is going on here? Why don't you have left? Sorry, sir. I'm just not in the mood today. Boiler egg again. Hey, you stole my excuse, Henry. Sir, James is faking it. He just doesn't want to leave in his sheds because he loses a bunch of spots. You're doing the exact same thing, Kenneth James. In fact, we all are, said Edward. Sir, after the international engines, Vicarstown, there's been a shortage of berths for the rest of us. Is there anything you can do to help us in this conundrum? I mean, really, help us there. And is there anything else you can do? So that's what this is all about, last hat. I was beginning to think it was all a ruse to get Stepney here to pull the express. Well, I have good news and bad news. The good news is that Sodor is no longer the staging area for the Great Railway Show, so the engines don't have to stay here any longer if they don't want to. The engines will handle it happily. They'll happy to get their sheds back. At the same time, though, this doesn't mean the international engines are being forced out of the sheds. So if some of them want to stay in here, then I'll have no qualms about that. You'll all have to learn to share. Thomas and Percy gave the engine such a warm welcome last night that I wouldn't be surprised to see if these engines would like it here. These sheds aren't just for all of you. They are all engines permanently and visited. That is all. Now, please, let's get everyone to work. Okay? Has the engines realized how selfish they were being and quickly set off to work that soon afterwards. It was going to be a very long weekend indeed for them. But like some had predicted, most of the international engines decided to stay on Sodor. It was far less crowded on than it was on the mainland. Best of all, the international engines and Sodor engines quickly made peace. And then, and ill will they all immediately. Now that we got that mess out of the way, Chico Thomas, let the games begin. Good luck, everybody! And it was going to be a long, easy few months in Sodor indeed.